I'm working on a 1974 D35. An often overlooked part of acoustic guitar bridges is the asymmetric height. Not all guitars, but some, including most Martins, have bridges which are slightly shorter on the treble side than on the bass side. Because the action on the treble side is typically about a 32nd of an inch lower than the bass side, the treble side of the bridge needs to be about a 16th of an inch lower. By doing this, you can have a mostly even amount of saddle sticking out from the bridge. This looks better, at least to me, than having a symmetrical bridge. I also like to match the radius of the bridge to the fretboard, whatever that happens to be. This asymmetry does complicate thinning out the wings of the bridge, but in the end, this looks and functions best. Getting the nut slot height correct is critical for both playability and intonation in the first few positions. Because the nut is acting as a fulcrum, the strings will be stiffer in this area than elsewhere. This means that if the slot height is not correct, it will cause intonation problems which cannot be corrected through other means. Because of the stiffness of the strings, it will also make first position chords much harder to play. Because most players spend a large percentage of their time playing in this area, getting the nut slot height correct is critical to a good setup. There are a lot of methods for adjusting nut slot height, but what I have settled on recently is this dial indicator jig. In order to avoid the interaction between the overall setup and the nut slot height, I like to press down on the string just to the wrong side of the second fret, which causes it to act as a straight edge, which can then be used to measure the height of the fret compared to the height of the nut slot. I like the nut slots to be approximately 4 to 6 thousandths taller than the frets, with the bass side being at the tall side of that range. I like the bow and the neck to be approximately 4 to 6 thousandths of an inch, but sometimes on these old Martins, which lack an adjustable truss rod, it can be hard to dial that in precisely. If it is under 9 thousandths, I won't go out of my way to get it any straighter. If they are above 9 thousandths, I'll usually do a little bit of selective fret dressing to dial it in a little bit. And if it's over 15 thousandths, I may even redo the refret with a slightly larger tang fret wire in order to force the neck a bit flatter. Though 99% of the time, if I'm going to need to do this, I know before I start the refret. This guitar came out well within tolerance. As challenging as the lack of an adjustable truss rod can sometimes be, they actually did a very good job at engineering the necks, and the vast majority of the time they come out well within tolerance. To make the final adjustments to the action, I will string up the guitar and measure the action at the 12th fret. However much I want to remove from the action height, I will take double that from the bottom of the saddle. Because the saddle is double the distance from the fulcrum of the nut to the 12th fret, this will dial in the action quite precisely. Please comment, share, and subscribe, and comment with any questions about my work. We have t-shirts on the website, and come in on Saturdays for same-day setups. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and enjoy your guitar.